So we're back for the third part of the syllabus overview. Now, in the last one, we left off here with the grading scale, and you can see there's whole sections of MyStatLab lecture, MyStatLab homework, etc. that we want to discuss. And I'm going to discuss all of those in depth in other syllabus videos. They won't be the overview videos, they'll be specific to those particular topics. So watch for those. In the meantime, we're actually going to scroll down past all of that information, past the MyStatLab videos, past the paper pencil packets, and we're going to look at the portion that says grades. So I'm going to scroll down there. Okay, so we're down here to a note about grades. So we skipped over all the exams and the paper pencil packets, and we'll be back for all of that in a later video, or later videos, I should say. So let's talk about grades. Now, your grades are available under your grade book in MyStatLab. So if you click on the grade book, your grades are available in here, and you can see click on show calculation. It will show you the calculation. I currently have no points. I will change these category weights after this video is over to make it so that it matches the same category weights that are in the syllabus right here, or schedule I should say, schedule right here, or in the syllabus earlier where it talks about this grading scale. Okay, so um, the by hand stuff, which we'll talk about more in those other videos, but the packets, the projects, the exams, they're all graded by hand by me, which means they take a while to accomplish. So they're not going to automatically update the way the videos and the homework will. So just keep that in mind as you're doing your homework. Some of them will be worth points automatically. You'll be able to see right away. Some of them you're going to have to wait. Now keep in mind the study plan is not worth any points at all. I leave the study plan here because it just gives you some extra practice. So don't be surprised by that if you want some extra problems to go do. You're really struggling in, I don't know, section 6.1, just to pick on section 6.1 again. You can go into the study plan and get all these extra problems and all these extra supports. They don't count for anything for your homework grade, quote unquote, but they can teach you how to do things and you can quiz yourself on different topics. So it's just there as an extra study guide for yourself. All right. Now, extra credit. Well, it's complicated. We don't have extra credit per se. Your grade is based on your work, not on extras. Therefore, there is no extra credit in the course. Now, that said, I do have it so that the discussion boards can count as kind of participation bonus. Now, that participation bonus is something you earn by participating frequently in the discussion boards. They'll be the places where we're going to talk to each other, where we're going to ask and answer questions. They're also going to be where your course pack spot checks are going to be posted sometimes. Perhaps. So watch out for an email that says, hey, post this spot check on this board, and everybody can go in and post their picture. And that'll all get discussed in a MyStatLab video in depth that we'll talk about later. But when you're asked to post that page of notes, I'll say, Susie Q, you're going to post page 52. So then you might, and I ask you to post it in the board, then you go post it in the discussion board, right? So that frequent active participation. Maybe I'll post a video for people to watch and talk about at some point to bring in some extra topics, something like that. That can be worth up to 20% of the points you miss on the paper pencil packets because in general people don't get perfect scores on those packets, but they're really great learning tools. So, and they're worth a lot of points. They're worth 30% of your grade. So you can earn some of the points back up 20% of what you've missed, depending on how much you've participated. I mean, if you're in there, a few times every week, answering, asking really good questions, answering other people's questions, then you'll have no problem making that 20%. That's what I mean by frequent. I'm thinking, at least a few times a week. Um, actively going in there, not just, barraging people at one time, but going in every, a couple times a week and answering and asking questions. That participation will count. And as always, we want to be excellent to each other, which is a very old movie reference, meaning, of course, we want to behave ourselves. We want to be respectful of the class, be respectful of each other, be respectful of me. And if you have questions that or frustrations, then you can come and talk to me personally. The discussion board's not necessarily the perfect place for that. You want to be kind to each other if all else fails. So There's that. Academic honesty. I want you to talk to each other. The discussion boards, for example, will be where you'll be asking and answering questions of each other for this problem or that problem. So that's great. The paper pencil packets, a lot of students will get together, and the projects for that matter, they'll get together and work together, which is wonderful. But what you submit has to be done by you. I'm giving you a grade, so it has to reflect your processes. So if your significant other is really good at statistics, that's wonderful. They can help you, but they can't do the assignments for you. If they do the assignments for you and that is shown, then you can run amok of the college's academic honesty policy. Obviously, also you can't cheat on, exams or things like that. That would be a big no-no. Sharing your Excel files with other people or using somebody else's Excel file, that is a big no-no. You want that Excel file to be yours for your projects. You want those paper pencil packets to be yours for your paper pencil packets. To be honest with you, if somebody else does them for you, you will fail because you will fail your exams because you never really learned what you were doing, and that will not be good for you. So be warned that if you are caught being academically dishonest, I might assign you a failing grade for the project. I've done that before, a failing grade for the packet, a failing grade for the exam, whichever I deem necessary. And I will also be sending your name probably to the dean of students as well as the academic deans, and that will not go well for you. So be warned of that. Now, incompletes, the college has an incomplete policy that basically says incompletes are for successful students who have crazy things happen to them. I one time had a student that was getting a 3.5 in the course, and then their father-in-law was diagnosed with brain cancer. So they had to move away to Texas for a year and deal with that situation. So that student got an incomplete, was able to finish the exams that they didn't take before they left, and was able to finish the course out. That's what an incomplete is for. An incomplete is not for, hey, I wasn't participating for 5 weeks and then just showed back up and never communicated with the professor, or I'm failing this class and I don't want that failing grade, so give me an incomplete. That is not what an incomplete is about. An incomplete is about a successful student who needs some extenuating circumstances. So be warned of that. It is not a valid strategy for avoiding failure. That said, if you find you are in some dire circumstances, one, do not wait to get a hold of me, but get a hold of me so we can try to figure out what solution for you. If it's close to the end of the semester, an incomplete will probably be a good option for you. But if it's not, if you have things going crazy in the second week or the third week, there are a couple other options to consider. So we would need to talk about that. And that is not the kind of thing you would post on a discussion board. That's a private email, phone call conversation, or coming into my office conversation. All right, now, this class, these are some more comments that are just to get you ready and warned. So this class is a lot of work, and it's a lot of work no matter where you take it. A basic introductory statistics course has a wide variety of topics that have to be covered, from descriptive statistics to inferential statistics, graphs, charts, means, standard deviations, hypothesis tests, etc. So that means that you, since you are not familiar with any of those topics, are going to have to work very hard. It's not like an algebra class where you've seen slope 3 different times over in high school and saw it again in your college algebra somewhere. This is stuff you've probably never seen before, especially once we hit chapters 8, 9, and 10, and so on. So be warned. This is going to take a lot of time. You have 100 and some videos to watch, lecture videos to watch, notes to fill out, homework to do, paper pencil packets to do, projects to do, exams to take. You have a lot of work cut out for you. If you're taking this in a summer class, then you only actually have 12 weeks to take it instead of 15. So you actually have 3 weeks less time, which means you have to work extra hard, even harder than a regular class would. Face-to-face classes of statistics work very hard, so do online classes. This is the same course both face-to-face and online. So be warned, you have a lot of videos to watch. You have hours ahead of you for studying, homework, etc. If you have a full-time job and 4 kids, be prepared for the next 12 to 15 weeks of your life to devote a lot more to statistics than you really wanted to devote to it. And I get it, but to be successful in this course, that's what it's going to take. It basically becomes a half-time job for you. It becomes almost, a quarter time to a half-time job. So you are going to be devoting hours to be successful in this course. And so will I, to grading all of your stuff. So if that makes it any better, which I doubt it does. So if you do not have those hours to devote, if you are taking this class with 5 other classes, this is not the class for you. If you don't have a good working relationship with your boss, you can't be flexible at your boss at your work, and you really can't get the time off for these 12 weeks or 15 weeks to take this course, this is not the course for you. You really need to have the time to take it. If you do not, you will suffer the consequences. There are a lot of students that take an online class thinking, oh, I'll be able to, quote, fit it into my schedule, unquote. But the trick is they never made a schedule. They just assumed that they had those hours in their life. But when push came to shove, they really didn't have them to give. They have lives and kids and jobs and families and significant others. And I get it, right? Statistics is not a top priority. Wonderful. But it's not going to bring you success in the course, right? So if you want to be successful in this class, you need to take a hard look at yourself, at your organizational skills, at your time management skills. If you didn't have the time to devote to coming to a face-to-face class, then you might not have the time to take this in an online version either. It's not necessarily about I can do it when I want, quote unquote, which is great if you actually have the time to do it when you want, right? Also, the trick is nobody really wants to take it. So, it's one of the, I'll do statistics later. I want to go play with my kids right now. Hey, I would too, right? That sounds like a great time. Statistics is not going to be nearly as much fun as that. So be prepared. It's a lot like exercise, to be honest. Everybody says at the beginning of New Year's that they're going to exercise more. Those resolutions come out. So it takes it takes a mature person to be able to really either map out those hours or to say, no, I need to pick a different resolution. I need to do something. Something's got to give so that I've got the time to devote to the class. Okay, warning over. Next, where to get some help? Well, because I do have a lot of students that are successful in this class, but a lot of times they can't do it on their own. Now, there are a lot of ways to get help in MyStatLab with the course content. So with statistics, if you want to get help with, hey, I didn't understand what Alana was talking about in section 6.1, that is what that multimedia library is there for. Like I showed you earlier, you can get videos, you can get poor section 6.1. I'm just picking at it all the time. You can get videos, you can get PowerPoint slides, you can watch somebody else explain it, etc. There are also some helps available under Tools for Success. There's some StatCrunch video tutorials, which is a different software program. There's a formula table card that might help you when you go try to make your own note sheets for the exams. There are applets and technology guides, etc. I actually am the one person that wrote the Excel manual. If you're interested, there I am, right there. I wrote it. So I can help you with the Excel manual. And there's all those different ways to get help for yourself, right? Excel study cards, StatCrunch study cards, etc. Statistics graphing calculator cards, that's for you because we use the calculator. So that's the one you would click on. So all of those helps are available for you for free, quote unquote, as in they come with your purchase of MyStatLab. Next, getting help with MyStatLab. Suppose you forget your password. Suppose something breaks. Suppose you're not able to get in and get connected. That is what calling this number or visiting MyMathLab, MyStatLab, and clicking support is for. So you click on the support tab and they will be able to help you. So it's over here, the little question mark symbol, help and support. You're looking for student support. I actually find a lot of students find the chat features really helpful. So they're able to look for the student FAQs. They're able to chat with somebody and get help with, on the web, on Facebook, etc. So muck around in here. You can sign in and create your own page, and you can get a helper person to chat with you on the computer. You can also just call them. Be prepared for some long wait times with phone calls, but sometimes it's the best way. So there's their 800 number. There's the MyStatLab support. You can get some help. That's with MyStatLab though, not with statistics itself. It's like if the system breaks. Okay. Then, of course, you are responsible for your own learning. Remember to stay on top of that schedule. The schedule that's available, you can print, I would print both versions. This is more a week to week. This is more assignment types, but I have the due dates listed over here on the left. You want to stay on top of it. You cannot get behind. So you must stay on top of what is due week to week, which is what I was about to say. Due dates. Due dates are always at 11:59 p.m. on the respective due dates. I can grant extensions under extenuating circumstances, but that's up to me whether or not it warrants it. But of course, get a hold of me. Do not wait 3 weeks after the fact. Somebody died and you never got a hold of me and you waited. Then the horse has left the barn, so to speak. You have to get a hold of me right away. I've given you my number to text me at. Text me. Let's figure out what's going on and figure out a solution for you. Also remember that you must participate in the course. You must do MyStatLab. You must watch the videos. You must submit your packets. If you do not do those things, you can be dropped from the course. And it can be up to, well, in our course, it could be as little as 1 week, to be honest, because if you're taking in the summer, it's even faster. In a regular semester, I would say 2 weeks, but it could be as little as 1 week, because you have stuff to turn in every single week. So if you don't show up for work for a week, they fire you. If you don't show up for this class for a week, you can be dropped. So be warned, not doing anything is not an appropriate response to having some problems, right? If you have problems, you need to get a hold of me. You need to get in touch with me as soon as possible. All right, that's the end of the overview videos. I'm going to go make the videos for the particular topics, such as homework and exams, and I'll see you back here for those videos later.